get it started. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Shaila Bhijanambura Shri Krishna Tatatmajam Shri Shailanve Devanatha Sudhya Prapta Gamanta Dvayam Padabje Narsimha Tate Guroho Nyastatma Raksha Bharam Vidvat Vrinda Chakora Chandiramaham Ramacharyam Shraye Sriranga Sudha Madhu Samaswadayantam Sriranga Mahishi Padapankajatmajam Sulabhashrayam Sadamoda Siddhamadbhutam Bhajeham Gurum Tam Ranganatha Priyam Sukhasanastham Hridayabja Pithe Chinmudraya Lankrita Pani Padmam Shubho Pavitam Vimalordhvapuntram Namami Rangam Guru Mantarange Namami Yoga Samragnim Vijayam Vijayapradam Srirangadhasana Sinam Karunam Mamataram Guru Rupa Paranjyotihi Jyoti Rupa Guru Paraha Ajnana Mandiram Hyetate Guru Vijnana Mandiram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhaite Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yontah Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuttam Sanjivayat Yakhila Shakti Dhara Swadhamna Anyam Shasta Charana Shravana Togadine Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Jayatyashita Santrasa Dhvanta Vidvam Sanodaya Prabhavan Sitaya Devya Paramavyoma Bhaskaraha Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadamyetat Pratam Mama Manojavam Marutulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus, we'll commence our session today. So we are continuing the train of thoughts, essentially looking at the glory of Lord Hanuman. I did not copy paste today's Zoom link. Can somebody copy paste it in the WhatsApp? Because I forgot to do that today. Sorry about that. So Lord Hanuman, in the Kishkinda chapter, the last chapter of Kishkinda Kandam, we have seen how he is reminded of who he is, who himself is, and then shows his gigantic form. In the process, he tells everybody around who he is, what his actual mahima is. So some of the key things to highlight, just to remind ourselves, is that he is the son of Marut Bhagavan, that is Vayu Bhagavan. And in terms of his prowess, he is equal in prowess to Garuda as well as Vayu Bhagavan. That is what he starts off with. And then he, of course, shows that he has extreme control over Mother Earth. He can do all kinds of things in terms of, for example, he can powder the mountains, right? He can dry the oceans and so on. And then he goes on to say, I can take any form that I want. And he even compares that when he flies high above, he resembles the Swati constellation. Not only that, he says that when I take this gigantic form, I perhaps resemble Lord Vishnu when he came down in the Trivikrama Avatara, Vamana and Trivikrama Avatara. I will resemble that. So that is the beauty of Lord Hanuman himself, talking about his true nature. So what we need to keep in mind is that great Siddha Purushas, when they acquire the power of supernatural powers, sometimes the Lord, Divine Lord himself, he will confer on them his own Shakti, right? So the Ashtavidha Aishwarya that we say, if somebody is a real Jnani, they will indeed be endowed with the real tejas and powers of the divine Lord himself. So no wonder Hanuman is saying, I resemble Trivikrama himself. And then he, of course, also says that through my Buddhi Shakti, I can already see that I'm going to visit Lanka and somehow I'm going to meet with Sita Mata. So that shows his clairvoyance, that he can look ahead what others cannot normally see. So he even has that type of siddhi. That is what is to be interpreted there. And then, of course, he once again says that Marutasya samo vege, Garudasya samo jave, ayutam yojananam tu gamishyami iti mematihi. I have extreme powers, very much similar to that of Marutaha and Garuda. And he even says that Vasavasya Savatrasya Brahmano va Swayambhavaha Vikramya Sahasa Hastat Amritam Tadihanaye. I have the power to go all the way up to Indraloka and even to Brahmaloka, right? So this shows that Lord Hanuman actually has free visa all the way up to Sri Vaikuntham. Okay, that is what it means. He can do a free sancharam, whichever loka he wants to go. Nobody can stop him. So what to talk of Lanka? Lankam vapi samutshipya gacheyamiti mematihi. So when I have access to the supreme divine lokas, what to talk of Lanka? I will definitely go and visit it. There is no doubt about it. And then a very interesting point is made by Jambavan that Tatsitadvasanam Shutva Jnatinam Shokanashanam Veera Kesarina Putra Jnatinam Vipulash Shokaha Tvaya Tata Pranashitaha. Immense grief that surrounded all our Jnatis is completely washed away by you, O Hanuman. That's what Jambavan says, isn't it? And I was just wondering that these are not even human beings. These are Vanaras. So to think of all the Vanara Jnatis to have a single pointed devotion that shows the level of bhakti they had towards Rama and Sita. However, Jambavan then reminds that Rishinam cha prasadena kapi vriddhamatena cha gurunam cha prasadena plavasvatvam maharnavam. So he goes on to say that, you know, when we talk of Pancha Mahayajnam, Deva Yajnam, Pitri Yajnam, Bhuta Yajnam, Manushya Yajnam, Brahma Yajnam. And here Jambavan is reminding that you have the blessings of rishis, you have the blessings of Kapi Vriddhas, that is the elders among your own community. They are going to bless you. Finally, Guru Namcha Prasadena. So you have the prasadam or the happiness and blessings of gurus. So you will definitely cross the ocean. And then Jambavan says that Sthasyamaha cha ekapadena yavadagamanam tava. We will continue. In Tamil they say ஒரு வேலை பண்ணோம்னா ஒத்த கால நிக்கிறான்னு சொல்லுவா இல்லையா? Probably that phrase emerges from this sloka in Sundara. நீ வர வரைக்கும் நாங்க ஒத்த காலம் நிக்கிறோம். நீ వచ్చేంత వరకు మేము వృక్షాసనంలోనే ఉంటాం. I don't know how many of you tried vrikshasana. It's one of the most difficult asanas. What that basically means To be proficient in Vrikshasana means that you have extreme control, not only on your body, but also on your mind and intellect. If you do not have control over your mind, you will not have the physical balance. You can try this thing out. Okay, after this session, if you have no other work, you can try for 5 to 10 minutes. Try to stand in Vrikshasana. Okay, while your mind wanders. Okay, so try to first get the ego. I can stand in Vrikshasana with my physical power. Okay, then slowly start thinking of something else and see what happens to your balance. So what this means is, until the time you come back, we will exercise restraint on our mind. That is what it means to stand on one leg. Adoda sukshman artham idha. That we will be having only one thought in our mind. What would have happened to Hanuman, whether he would have seen Sita or not, until you come back. That's the beauty of, these are all the unsaid things that we should keep in mind. That means, okay, hatam, you have some hata and you want to stand. We will go undergo fasting, right? Behind the scenes, what happens, we know. But here it is not like that. Tatastu harishardulaha tanuvacha vanokasaha neyam mahivegam langane dharayishyati. So we saw that he says, he is probably at the bottom of that Mahendra Parvata, at the foot of the hills. He says, my extreme pressure cannot be tolerated by the Mahendra Parvata. So let me find a way out as to from where I should take this leap. That is where we ended in the last class. Yeshu vegam karishyami Mahendra Shikhareshwaham Nanadruma Vikirneshu Dhatu Nishyanda Shobhishu. So Yeshu vegam karishyami Nanadruma Vikirneshu Dhatu Nishyanda Shobhishu. Lord Hanuman is describing the beauty of Mahendra Parvat. Okay. What does Mahendra Parvatam have? It is endowed with Nana Druma Vikirneshu. There are lots and lots of beautiful trees. Okay. As well as Dhatu Nishyanda Shobhishu. It has several types of minerals. Okay. So, we talk of leading a sustainable life these days. The best way to lead a sustainable life is to depend on resources which are locally available. Do not acquire something from far away. That is a start of, creating an imbalance in Mother Nature. The moment you order on Amazon Prime, right, you are exploiting resources across the Mother Earth. When a nice vegetable is available close to your place, homegrown, why do you want to get something foreign? Right? That disturbs the balance. So likewise, this Mahendra Giri is full of minerals. So the people who live in mountains, they are all actually leading a life close to nature. They don't need anything else because the mountain has everything endowed in it. Etani mama nishpesham padayoho plavatam varaha plavato dharayishyanti yojananamita shatam. So Lord Hanuman is again, he is addressing all his bandhus, vanaras, that the force of my feet, when I leap off to Lanka, the force will be so great that the mountain will start shivering. It will not be able to withstand the force, right? And remember, I'm going to cross several yojanas. That's what he said. Yojanana mitaha shatam. Hundreds of miles away is my target. And imagine how much backward thrust that I need to exercise. And I'm pretty sure that this mountain will not be able to withstand. The mountain peaks, they will start getting crushed. Tatastam maruta prakhyah saharir marutatmajaha aruroha nagasreshtham mahendra marimardanaha vritam nana vidhaihi vrikshaihi mrigasevitashadvalam lata kusuma sambadham nitya pushpa paladrumam simhashardula charitam matta matanga sevitam mattadvija ganodhrustam salilot pida sankulam. So we this particular set of slokas again talk about how Lord Hanuman jumped to the peak of Mahendra Parvatam and what all creatures and trees and other things existed there. So it's a very vivid description of the setting there. Tataha Maruta Prakhyaha. Maruta Prakhyaha is Lord Hanuman. He is the Pramukha among all beings, and he is equal in power to Maruta, as eminent as the wind god. Marutatmajaha, he is the son of wind god. Arimardanaha, Ari means Shatru, okay? Ari in Sanskrit, not Hari, okay? Arimardanaha, he is somebody who can crush enemies. Saha Harihi, he the monkey, Abhinartham. Nana vidhehi vrikshaihi vritam. There were so many different types of trees in the Mahendra Parvatam. Mrigasevita shadvalam. Mriga, in general, in all these kavyas, mrigam means hiran, that is the deer. Okay. In Sanskrit, when you say mriga, it generally means deer. Mrigasevita shadvalam. What do the deer feed on? They will feed on grass. So Mrigasevita Shadvalam. So the entire Mahendragiri, it has a lot of grass, green grass around it. Lata Kusuma Sambadham, it is filled with creepers of various types, as well as Kusumam, all types of fragrant flowers. After Hanuman takes off, because we are going to see what will happen to all this now when he takes off. Nitya Pushpa Phaladrumam, it has perennial, flower yielding trees as well as fruit yielding trees. That's what it means. That is, the trees will not be barren without flowers or fruits. That's the meaning. That means epome or it will be with pushkalam, with flowers and fruits. Simha Shardula Charitam. It also has strange visitors in the form of lions and leopards and tigers and whatnot. Matta Matanga Sevitam. Matanga means elephant. Matta means, of course, elephants that have gone into Madasthiti. So it has all kinds of wild elephants roaming around there. Matta Dvija Ganodhrustam. Here, Matta is again used. Matta means some kind of intoxication. Dvija Ganodhrustam. There are all kinds of birds also. Okay, different types of birds. These are all intoxicated birds. The moment you keep hearing all kinds of screeches, sometimes nice sounding notes from birds. So Kalaravam solvom. Adallam anga irukku. Salilot pida sankulam. It is full of waterfalls. இதை அப்படியே பார்த்தோன்னா நம்ம ராஜமௌலி செட்டிங் பண்ணி பண்ணுவார். You can create a nice movie setting. It has all kinds of beautiful things to look at, to hear, listen, etc. It's a very beautiful setting there. Incidentally, it's called Mahendra Parvatam. Okay. Mahendram Nagasreshtham Aruroha. So Nagasreshta, Nagana, one of the meanings of Naga is mountain. So Mahendra, which is also the Sreshtham among all mountains, Lord Hanuman ascended. That means he has gone to the peak of Mahendragiri. Okay, so he is now, it is like going on the runway of the tarmac, it is ready to take off. Yeah. So he's gone to that particular state there. Mahadbhiruchitam Shringaihi Mahendram Samahabalaha Vichachara Harisreshtho Mahendra Samavikramaha. Mahendra Samavikramaha Mahabalaha Harisreshtha. All again great qualities of Lord Hanuman. Mahendra Samavikramaha. He is somebody who is equal in his valor and strength to Mahendra, Lord Indra himself. He is a Mahabala, he is a very mighty person. He is a Harisreshtha, best among all the monkeys. Mahadbhihi Shringaihi Uchritam Tam Mahendram Vichachara. So this Mahendragiri has many different great peaks. Okay, so whenever you talk of any great mountain, there will be several peaks. Yeah, if you want to think of Himalayas, there are so many peaks there. Each peak has its own height, its own name, and so on. Mahendragiri is a similar mountain. And Tam Mahendram Vichachara. So Lord Hanuman climbed Vichacharana, Charanam Pandaranatham. He climbed this particular Mahendragiri mountain. So in other words, they described, Valmiki described the Mahendragiri first. Then he talks about the fact that Lord Hanuman, who has equal power to that of Mahendra himself, he ascended the peak of this mountain.
Just one question.
Yes.
Yana Jayashri. Hi. Bahubali, you mentioned Bahubali. Adla or part irukku and the Khoya hai na Hindi la. In that, there is a set of Sanskrit slokams. It goes like Dhivara Prasara Shaurya Bhara. Adla na ingyo netla parche, it may be in the Sundara Kandam or Jamwan tells about Hanuman. Ad ippo varda in the
maybe we'll take a look at it. I have not seen those slokas here.
It is there in Bahubali, and I've always been curious as to when it appears in the Ramayana.
Okay, I can refer it because there are so many other works, on Srimad Ramayanam by great poets like Kalidasa, Raghuvamsham. We don't know from where these slokas are lifted. One thing to note is Srimad Ramayanam is very simple, Anushtup Chanda, very easy to follow. If the slokas are really little tough to understand, for sure it is not from Srimad Ramayanam. That much we can. But let me refer and then.
Sure. Thank you.
Padabhyam piditastena mahashailo mahatmana raraja simha bhihato mahan mattaiva dvipaha. So now more upamanams, a Kavi tries to compare two things always. Yeah? So we see that sarani of comparisons. He's comparing Hanuman with Mahendra first. Now he's going to look at Mahatmana Tena Bahubhyam Piditaha Mahashailaha. So he's saying Lord Hanuman, he is now climbing the mountain. Yeah, he's using his great shoulders to climb the mountain. Okay, imagine he's crawling up the mountain, probably just 1 or 2 leaps away and he will reach the peak. Mahashailaha is the mighty mountain. Shailamna, mountain again. The way he climbed it, it appeared as if he is now comparing the mountain with an elephant and Hanuman with a lion. So he is picturizing that, imagine a lion is now trying to climb on top of an elephant. That is how Hanuman climbing the mountain resembled. So he's giving that upamanam here. Raraja simha bhihato Mahan Matta Ivadvipaha. Simhabhyataha means as if struck by a lion. Abhyataha by Simha. Mattaha Mahan Dvipaha Iva Raraja. This whole scene of Hanuman climbing the mountain resembled a lion climbing on top of a Matta Gajam. Okay. Both are equal in prowess nartham. Mahendragiri is also something which is majestic, and Hanuman, he is showing his overpowering nature. He can actually climb Mahendragiri like anything. Mumocha salilot pidan viprakeerna shilochayaha vitrasta mrigamatangaha prakampita mahadrumaha. So because of the fact that Lord Hanuman is now crawling up the Mahendragiri and he is reaching the peak, whatever beautiful scenario we just spoke about a little while ago, what all happened, our panna ஒரு அட்டகாசம் என்ன அப்படிங்கிறது இப்போலேருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கும் from this sloka onwards. Viprakirna shilochayaha, the rocks started to get scattered. Okay. Shilochayaha viprakirnaha asan. Vitrasta mrita matangaha. Mriga matangaha. Sorry. Mriga is deer. Matanga is elephants. So they vitrasta, they all got terrified because of this person who is climbing up. Prakampita mahadrumaha, all the great trees there started shaking violently. Salilot pidane, the salilam means water. Lots of streams started gushing forth. Okay. And mumocha means released. So basically, you can picturize now the force with which Hanuman is climbing up. He is scattering the rocks. He is creating terror among the animals there, and new streams of water are starting to gush out. Okay. Idallan director pathpar. Number we have to just imagine these situations. Okay. Nana gandharva mithunaihi pana samsarga karkashaihi utpatadbhischa vihagaihi vidyadhara ganairapi tyajyamana mahasanuhu sannilina mohoragaha chalashranga shilodhataha tada bhutsa mahagirihi. So this Mahendragiri, imagine it's full of trees. So you really don't know who all are living there apart from the animals. So this shloka talks about a special class of beings. They are known as Gandharvas and Vidyadharas. Okay. So they are a special class of beings. And, unlike we normal human beings, we get to enjoy pleasure once in a while. This type of jivas, they have gone beyond this body and they are in a different kind of form. Okay. They are always engrossed in pleasures. And so here it says, Pana samsarga karkashi. They kaila or bottle chinde poindirukanu artham. Okay. They are always drinking and they are holding the casks of wine with them. Not only that, Nana Gandharva Mithunehi. So they are all very active on Instagram, whatever, So they have all types of company there. And they were all enjoying happily until Hanuman climbed up the Mahendragiri. So what happened to these people? Utpatadbhischa. So already steady illa. Ivar vera climb panna arambishitara. They started, tripping and tumbling and all that. They lost their balance completely. Vihagaihi Vidyadhara Ganairapi. Vihagaihi na anga irukkuda birds kuda. They just like Utpatadbihi Vihagaihi abin solraru. Just like birds start falling from the sky, and the mother in the Vidyadharas started tumbling out of their living place there. Tyajamana Mahasanuhu. They all started to abandon the vast mountain slopes. So something is happening. There's some kind of an earthquake. So let us all get away from here. Sannilina mohoragaha. The various types of uraga abdina serpent nartham. various types of serpents are also resting there. They also started to come out of their holes. Chalasringa Shilodghataha. The Shringamna Giri mountain, adla irukkudiya shilam appadina the rocks, they all started to shake appdin artham. Basically what this means is that the occupants of that Mahendragiri, they were all given a rude notice: vacate from this place. This place no more belongs to you, or this is no more safe for you. So that notice is served by Lord Hanuman, and they all started to run helter-skelter. Nishwasadbhi tadartaistu bhujangaihi dhanisrutaihi sapataka iva bhati satada dharanidharaha. Again, another nice upamanam is given by Valmiki. Tada saha dharanidharaha. Dharanidharanna yare? Who is Mahidhara? Last class we saw, isn't it? Who is Mahidhara? Unless you have a friend called Mahidhara. What is the meaning of Mahidhara? Anybody?
Vishnu.
World ruler?
No.
Or who holds the world? Or
Mahidhara, of course, is a name of Mahavishnu. But what is the meaning of Mahidhara? We saw that last class.
Mahi is earth. Mahi is earth. And Kurma avadaratla artha vachindrukar.
No. You are close. The first part is correct.
great mountain.
Mountain, you are right. Mountain is something which holds the Mother Earth. Mahim dharati iti mahidharaha. It holds the earth together. So dharani dharaha is also another name. Dharanina arthada. Dharani dharaha. Holder of the earth, which is basically mountain. Okay. Nishwasadbhihi ardhanisritaihi. Nishwasadbhihi na visheshamaha swasam pannakuriya. Those who are breathing very, very differently. What type of animals do that? Their breathing itself is their lakshanam, the way they breathe. So it is basically the snakes, the hissing of the snakes. So this sloka is about snakes. What happened to the thousands of snakes in the mountain? Ardha nisritaihi. They were protruding their body, half of it outside. Okay. That means snakes are usually silent if you let them be. Okay. So they will go inside their snake hole or whatever it is, snake hill or ant hill. They will happily rest there. But if there is a disturbance outside, they will come out of their house and then poke around what is happening. So the snakes are essentially half body out of their homes. So they are curious what's happening outside. And what did that resemble? Anasa pataka iva bhati. These all look like flags. Okay, we are close to the Independence Day here. Lots of flags we can see actually. Pataka iva abhati. So the snakes that have come out of their homes, they are looking out what's happening with half their body outside. This resembled as if the mountain has lots of flags planted on it. So this is the other picturization. Rishibhihi trasa sambhrantaihi tyajamana shilochayaha sidan mahati kantare sarthahina ivadvagaha. Now Valmiki is moving one step further. He is talking about the real good beings who also live in Mahendragiri. They are the rishis. Okay, even the rishis, they have started to move out of their locations. Rishibhihi, they were all trasa sambhrantehi. They were all alarmed. Okay, sambhrantam, digbrantam, they all got agitated. And they were all afraid of what is happening. This immense kind of shaking and shattering that's happening around. Tyajyamanaha, they all started to abandon their own living place there. And this, how did this resemble? So the great rishis also have started to leave their place. So this resembled as if Sarthahinaha, he's thinking of the forests as if they're all, it's a great place to rest for travelers. And all the travelers have left the place, all the tourists have left the place. Suppose think of a great tourist place, location, okay? So the distinguishing factor of a tourist place is that there will be floating population. Too many people in that place. Suddenly, if you see COVID struck and there is nobody in Mauritius, how will it look like? So that is the scene that Valmiki is giving here. The rishis abandoned the mountains, and that actually resembled a forest. Kantare means forest. Did not have any travelers who were living there. Sa Vegavan Vega Samahitatma Haripravira Paravirahanta Manasamadhaya Mahanubhavo Jagamalankam Manasa Manasvi. So Sa Vegavane, Lord Hanuman with great Vega Samahitatma. And he is now focused completely on how do I energize myself, turboprop myself, and increase my speed, okay? Just like an aircraft does on the runway. Paravirahanta, he is a destroyer of enemies. Manasvi, he is extremely sensitive, Manasvi. Mahanubhavaha, noble. Saha Haripraviraha, among all monkeys, he is the most heroic among them. Manaha Samadhaya, Manasa Lankam Jagama. So he again regained his poise. Okay, on the one hand, he has to increase his speed. Okay, Vegate increase panna. At the same time, if you want to be extremely productive, okay, Vega varundana velayagum. Ana Vivekam illana oru veganda prayojanam illai. Vivekam also is important. So he brought Samahita Manaha. Okay, so this is an extremely difficult quality to have for anybody. You can either energize yourself to do something, or you can stay calm and cool and think what to do. But to mix these two together, that only a Mahanubhava can do. And such a Mahanubhava is Lord Hanuman. And he started to go towards Lanka. Tyashe Srimad Ramayane Valmiki Adikavye Kishkindha Kande Sapta Sashtitamas Sargaha. This is the last chapter in Kishkinda Kandam. I thought, without knowing what happened just prior to Sundara Kandam itself doesn't make, the beginning, you'll be wondering what happened. So that's the reason why I thought we'll go through this Kishkinda Kandam. The other important reason is, this chapter talks about the glory of Hanuman from his own viewpoint, his own perspective. Okay. That's the reason why I thought, luckily, it was quite handy. It's the last sarga of Kishkinda Kandam. So you are all eagerly waiting, looking forward to starting of Sundara Kandam. But there is one more break that I have to apply, which is basically, we have seen the great characters now. Yeah, we have seen what all we have seen in the foundation so far. We have looked at Lord Rama, right? Starting with, of course, Narada and Valmiki, then Lord Rama. We have looked at Sita Mata, then Lord Hanuman. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the hero of this chapter. What remains to be seen from a foundational perspective is why is Sundara Kandam known as Sundara Kandam? Okay, so if you look at the different sargas of Srimad Ramayana, we start with Balakandam. Yeah, adukapram அயோத்தியா காண்டம், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆரண்ய காண்டம், அதுக்கப்புறம் கிஷ்கிந்தா காண்டம், அதுக்கப்புறம் சுந்தர காண்டம், சுந்தர காண்டத்துக்கு அப்புறம் யுத்த காண்டம். If you look at the naming of these kandams, Bala Kandamna, of course, the youth, it covers the youth phase of everybody, especially the 4 heroes. அதுக்கப்புறம் அயோத்தியா காண்டம், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆரண்ய காண்டம். அயோத்தியா காண்டம் talks about a place. ஆரண்ய காண்டம் again a place. அப்படி பார்த்தா கிஷ்கிந்தா காண்டமும் பிளேஸ் தான் இல்லையா? Whereas இந்த சுந்தர காண்டத்துல என்ன பிளேஸ் சொல்லுங்க பார்ப்போம். It is all about Sri Lanka. So it should have been called as Lanka Kandam, technically speaking. But it is called as Sundara Kandam. So there is a specific meaning associated with Sundara Kandam. What I intend to do, I think we have reached the end of today's session, but the teaser for you is that the next session is all going to be on why is Sundara Kandam called as Sundara Kandam. Okay, what is Sundaram about it? அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சாதான் நம்மளுக்கு we will further get closer to the runway, as close to Hanuman as possible, and probably climb his shoulders. Okay, without his balam and shakti, we can't really understand Sundara Kandam. So we'll go through, of course, what Purvacharyas have spoken about Sundara Kandam, what have they, given as definitions, and we'll see the speciality of Sundara Kandam. So we'll try to go through it at in a gist or summary, and then we'll commence the Sundara Kandam shlokas after that. Okay, so we'll unless are there any comments or questions, we'll conclude our session here today. Okay, Krishna Guru Charanam
Nirbhar bhakta Guru Charanam Boja. Nirbhar bhakta samsara chirat bhavamukta Guru Charanam Boja. Krishna Krishna Sendriya Manasa Niyamadevam Rakshasi Nijahridayasam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate.
Kayena vacha manasa indriyerva buddhya atmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai Shriman Narayanayeti samarpayami. Sarvam Sri Ramachandra Arpanamastu. Have a great day and week ahead.
Thank you. Namaskar.